Alright, so welcome to Reptile Quest. I'm Bo, and hopefully today we have some nice treats in store for you in the way of our slithery little pals and whatnot. But first I'd like to talk about something. You may realize that if you're a regular watcher, you may realize that it's been about 3 weeks since I've done a full length episode. Or if you're one of the few people who watched it, you may have actually saw that maybe about a week ago, maybe a little bit less, I did actually drop an episode, but it did so poorly. I did just chop it up and make it into shorts, and honestly, it had been something that I had been considering for the last maybe a few weeks anyway, which is changing from long form, which is what I actually really like doing, these full-length videos like this for you, and moving to short form because that's just where I get more traction, more eyes on it. So obviously, if you're making content, you're trying to educate people and introduce people into the world of reptiles. It's the more people who see it, the better. And unfortunately, with my long form, I really don't get a lot of eyes on it. So, anyway, that's what I did. I chopped it up and made it into shorts. If you've noticed, if you haven't been looking at my short form, as far as my shorts on the channel, I've been doing them every single day for like the past few weeks. So that's been a change. So anyhow, I am going to go forward with the long form as of now, but it depends on how this episode does and the next one does. So, please make sure to like, comment, and if you're not already, please subscribe. All right, so let's get going. Oh man, check this out. This is a tiny little new baby. This thing is tiny. Let me get my hook real quick just in case I need it. Although I doubt I'll need it, but. Now, to give you an idea of how small this baby is. Yeah, let's get a little bit more perspective. Look how little that is. This little lovely, beautiful little pretty newborn. I mean, I would say this is definitely this year's baby. I mean, he is so tiny. Anyway, so of course, this is a Copperhead. These guys are just so beautiful. I love them. And, this time, around fall is where you're going to see all the new little babies. Now, also something that you may or may not know is that pit vipers are almost solely ovoviviparous, which means that they do have live young. They develop inside them, and then and then they give birth, as opposed to laying eggs and have them incubate, for a time period like eggs do, and then hatching. So that's something that it's kind of neat, So this guy was just born here recently, definitely. So that's really awesome. That's really awesome. These guys, I mean, he's tiny. He's like as thick as a pencil. He is so cool, though. I really, really love snakes. But finding like little babies like this out in the wild is so awesome. This little baby pit viper that is just so gorgeous and such a cool find. Lovely, just beautiful part of the ecosystem. Another thing is the babies usually have those little 2 dots on the top of their head. They do keep them as adults as well, but it's very pronounced as a baby. And just what a awesome, beautiful snake that we have here. These guys are so awesome. It's just, when I'm out here just enjoying, these little lovely critters, it's amazing to me that people find them to be just so terrifying, because they're really not. I mean, look at this little guy. This little fella, he's probably about 5-6 inches long, and he's just a gorgeous little critter there. He's just a cute little pal. But that is not, of course, to say that they are not dangerous. A lot of people say, oh, well, babies are more dangerous than the adults because, they don't have regulation of their venom. They just dump it all at once. Well, that is not true. They can regulate their venom output from birth. So that's an old wives' tale. It's not true. So you got to worry about that. And obviously their venom sacs are much smaller when they're babies, so So that whole old adage that, you know, oh, don't mess with a baby. Well, you shouldn't mess with any venomous snakes, but don't mess with a baby because they're, you know, they're more dangerous than the adults. That's just not true. This little fella, don't ever do this kind of thing here. Look at him. Oh, like a poor little guy. So beautiful. It's a beautiful snake here. I want to see if I can get a little better look at him. So I'm going to use my hook because he is just tiny. I don't want any issues. Hey, guy. There you go. Now I can see you a little better. Such a cutie patootie. He's such a cutie patootie. And like I say, there is just absolutely nothing monstrous about these beautiful little creatures. This little tiny fella right here, he's just, you know, he's going to be incredibly happy that I'm not a predator. And other than that, there's really no, there's no concern. You know, he just hopes that I'm not a predator and everything's good. And at this size, he may not actually be incredibly aware of predators. Of course, they have instinct, but you know, a lot of things are learned. And when they're this small, they don't have quite the level of fear that you know, and awareness through fear that the older snakes would have. Than, you know, an older specimen would have. So you know, it's really awesome being able to have this experience with this guy who's just not even worried about the fact that I turned him around and I'm just sitting there staring at him, you know, filming him from different angles, and he's just perfectly fine just staying where he's at. You know, he's not worried about me, and he's definitely not chasing me. And people will say, "Oh no, that's cottonmouths that chase you." Actually, that's not true. So, you know, and I've proven that on you know, previous episodes. Obviously, you can say, "Oh, it's anecdotal evidence." Well, it's okay because I've had thousands of experiences with cottonmouths and never been chased. So, you know, I don't know that's really anecdotal evidence at that level. Now, before I put his log back, I will have to, you know, move him so that we can do that safely without crushing him, obviously. So we're just gonna get this little pal. How we doing, little pal? How we doing? Are you okay? Let me see. Look at this little dude, and don't ever do anything like this. But he is just so calm, and he has no idea that I'm a predator. Now, if he moves like that, obviously I'm going to be cautious, even though he may not have been, you know, about to do anything. You know, he's getting a little bit twitchy. So, and like I say, I know it's not incredibly a great idea to be picking these guys up with your bare hands. But now, while we have him like this, look at his beautiful bright green caudal lure. That's what that's called right there. Whenever they're born with that bright green tail, so that they can lure in their prey. They'll just coil up and wiggle their little tail, and you know, and then their prey will go and try to take a nip at it, and then, you know, then they have dinner. So that's pretty awesome. It's kind of awesome how nature works out like that. Anyhow, I think we've had enough time with this absolutely gorgeous young copperhead here, and we're going to go ahead and move him so I can put his log back, and then you know, go ahead and go about our business. So look how awesome he just hangs on. Look how little he is. He just hanging on this hook. So awesome. Now I got this. I'm just gonna put him back down there, and then I'm gonna give him a little nudge so he knows to go back. There he goes. There go, little pal. There go, little pal. Sweet.